Just hit record.
There we go. All right, we're good now. All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the next installment, I guess, of our monthly webinar series. We actually have been doing this since January. If this is your first time, thank you for registering and attending. For those of you who are here live, a special thank you. You are taking advantage of seeing us take advantage of a very relaxed dress code at work because we are all working from home now because of coronavirus. And so obviously that's what we're going to be talking about today, and just how your law firm can continue to market and just continue to stay relevant during this pandemic. And so today, basically, we're just going to show you a couple of things that you can do. I'm even going to take a deep dive and really show you how you can do it yourself if, you feel like you are able to do so. And then a little bit more information for you guys at the end as well. So this is who we are. I am John Henson. I'm the marketing manager at Spotlight Branding. I clearly like guitars, if you can see in the background, and music and things like that. Jana, go ahead and introduce yourself.
I am Jana, also taking advantage of the relaxed dress code in a t-shirt and a Snuggie. I still have one of these from like the early 2000s. As you can see, I like my cat, Tater Tot, who might make an appearance again at some point. We'll see. He runs the place. But I'm a brand strategist here. That is who I am. In case you didn't know, I'm the one on the left there. John's the one on the right. In case you're unable to.
Yeah. And Jana would be the person that you would talk to if you ever book a call with us. She's fun to talk to. Before we dive in, just some additional resources that everyone should be aware of. Earlier this year, we released our book, The Ultimate Solo Lawyer's Guide to More Referrals and Better Clients. We're giving away copies of the book for free. You can just go to spotlightbranding.com/guide and fill out a short form, and we will get a copy to you as quickly as possible. We have several free downloads on the website. The big one is our anti-SEO report. We also have an ideal client checklist. So many other things that I'm blanking on right now, which is weird because I wrote most of them. All kinds of stuff.
Report, that's new one. The checklist, the 10 strategies. I'm trying to think of some of the recent ones. Yeah, John's been working very hard lately to put out a whole bunch of new information, content, resources in tons of different formats. So yeah, there's lots there to choose from.
Yeah. And then the last one, we do have a podcast called the Law Firm Marketing Minute. I host that. Episodes come out every Monday. They're usually pretty short, generally around 10 minutes or less. And if you're spending more time at home, you've got plenty of time to catch up on all of the episodes. We actually just passed 200 episodes a couple of weeks ago. So we've been doing it for a while. And so, there's 200 episodes worth of marketing information there for you. It's wherever you download your podcast from. So, it's on Apple Podcasts, it's on Spotify. I believe it's on Google Podcasts as well. So, we have a lot of free information for you guys out there to help you out with your law firm marketing. All right. So before I let Jana dive in here, if you guys have any questions for us, throw it in the Q&A section, and we will get to those at the end of the webinar. So Jana, why don't you take it away?
Sounds good. So we see our friend there from Futurama. Fry, maybe? That could be wrong. Let me know in the Q&A also if that's not what that person's name is. I'm not a huge Futurama fan, so if you are, I'm so sorry if I got that wrong. But we know that the next couple weeks and months are definitely a bit unprecedented. They are there's a lot of uncertainty around what's going to happen. So it's very easy to, jump to some assumptions or conclusions and freak out just a little bit. But we're saying maybe don't do that. It's understandable why, we want to adjust a lot of things with all of the vagueness surrounding the upcoming weeks and months. But we're saying that don't necessarily need to go that route. One of the most important things that you can do during this time is to continue marketing and make sure that you are still putting out content and keeping your name out there, knowing that people are going to be taking in a lot more content than they have been, recently. People are going to be scrolling through their social media. They're going to be checking their email. They're going to be just browsing the internet. They're going to be attending webinars. They're going to be doing tons of things just because they're bored. They're at home. They're, self-isolating and in quarantine. So we know that now is the time to make sure your name is out there, because with that, we don't know what's going to happen in a few months when it comes to legal services. People still have things that they need help with. And so I think part of it is going to be seeing the rush come in as things start to get back to normal. So we're going to talk today about how you can best keep your marketing going and prepare for the unknown, so to speak.
Yeah. Yeah. And to add to that, I mean, there are going to be so many legal issues that arise during and after this, across all practice areas. Business attorneys, they're going to have to help business owners with, potentially and unfortunately winding down business, if the government stimulus doesn't work out the way people want it to. There could be contract disputes and things like that. Tax lawyers, they could be helping a lot of people who suddenly can't afford to pay their tax bill, even past the extension. I've seen a lot of memes out there about family lawyers probably going to need to help with some divorces after people have been quarantined together for so long. But I mean, even on a more serious note, like, people who may not be able to make custody payments or not custody payments, but child support payments, things like that. Bankruptcy attorneys, you guys are going to be, possibly the biggest winners in all of this. But the real key, though, is you have to continue to remind people of who you are and how you can help them, so that when the time comes and people are ready to make moves again, you're the person that they think of, and you're not losing out to, some of your competitors who make the investment in your marketing. On the other hand, some of your competitors may be panicking right now and they may be slashing their marketing budgets, and that's going to give you a prime opportunity to come out of this in great shape. So, yeah, Jana, I think you had some comments about social media.
Yes, I know personally, I know that there's not a bottom of Instagram, but I am pretty darn close to finding the bottom of Instagram at this point. Just, scrolling through, people are all over social media and they're just ready to digest content, and also content that you hit it on it, the memes. So a lot of people are looking for stuff that's a bit lighter, I think, as they're scrolling through. I know I personally am. Every time I see, something that's a bit more lighthearted, I, enjoy that, or something that just gets my mind off of everything that's going on. So I know I'm spending tons of time on social media, and not just that, the email notifications that I have had for years that are in like the hundreds, slowly starting to go through those just because I don't have anything else to do. So people are certainly on these platforms. And so now is the time more than ever to make sure that you have content that is in that mix, so that people see it as they are mundanely scrolling and getting carpal tunnel from, what is this? Just, I don't know, thumb sprains from scrolling constantly on their phones.
Yeah. And people are looking for information. I heard a statistic, I think it was yesterday, like half of all of the content being read right now is about coronavirus, which, it's what everyone's talking about. Clearly, we're talking about it right now. And so as attorneys, a lot of people need to know what their rights are, whether it's employment law, business law, bankruptcy, taxes, even my, example with family lawyers, they're going to need to know what they are able to do now. And then once everything starts to clear up, and there's so much bad information out there and that's one of the most frustrating things about this for me personally, is that there's so much differing information out there, and where attorneys can really shine is putting out information, whether you're writing blog articles or, you're sharing trusted sources, through your own social media, is being a good source of accurate information. And so, this is one of the big things, one of the big ways that Boom Offer can market itself during coronavirus. And, it's if you're kind of seldomly, sporadically active on social media, now's the time to start posting daily, maybe a couple of times a day. If you are, and not just Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, whatever you've got to do, just reach the most amount of people.
Yeah. And so even just from my job is to have calls with attorneys all day. And so information that helps people out, I think, is really important and lets them, have a little bit of guidance through this. So specifically, I was talking to a family lawyer yesterday, and she was telling me about how, custody agreements, if you get a shelter in place order, but you have some sort of a custody agreement, things are, wrenches thrown into that plan with stuff like that. Or an estate planning attorney was telling me how a lot of people have been contacting him about getting their estates in order with the uncertainty that's coming up and knowing that this happens so quickly. So I think giving people information that will help them prepare if something like this were to happen again is really important too.
Yeah. So number one thing, get on social media, be active on social media, share valuable information. Number two is definitely start sending out consistent email blasts. This is a great way to just get some business fast. The things to be careful of is don't beg for business and seem desperate. Like, no one likes that. And don't really try to force it. It's really simple. You just remind people of who you are and how you can help. I've provided an example of one of our clients' e-newsletters that we create for them. And you can see that it's really simple, but it provides a ton of information. And that's what you want to do with your emails to your contacts. You can see there's Neil Greenbaum here. He did video. He provided video information, but he also provided a blog information. You don't necessarily have to do both, but the more valuable information you can pack into an email, the better. He's also got his practice areas there, obviously his contact information there. And one thing that you do not see is cookie recipes or some sort of other kind of recipes. And I'm sorry if you're in this webinar right now and you have cookie recipes in your newsletter, but it's a waste of space and it's something that could be better used for something more valuable. I'm sorry if that offends you in any way, but it's the truth, right? Like, you're an attorney, you're not a chef. At least professionally, you may be a home chef, and that's cool. But no one's coming to you for the latest home recipe that they can provide. So with that in mind, though, I want to take a few minutes to show you all how you can create an email campaign that you can send out to all of your contacts. First, before I get into that, sorry, I forgot about this slide. It really just starts with exporting all of your contacts, whether you're in Gmail, Outlook, Yahoo, America Online, if you're still that far back at the times. I'm sorry, that was mean. Whatever. You can, if you don't know how to do it, just Google how to export contacts from blank, whatever you use. There's a lot of easy step-by-step instructions there. To do that, it's not difficult. From there, you're just going to create a free account with either MailChimp, Constant Contact, Aweber, one of the many others. We use MailChimp because it provides us a little bit more customization in terms of how we design our themes for our clients. And so now, with with that in mind, I hope. Yes. I'm going to walk you guys through how to, just build a pretty simple campaign. So I'm going to start this video, and hopefully you guys can see this, but the first thing here is just importing your contacts known as an audience into MailChimp. And then once you do that, you can go to create and click email, name your campaign, whatever. You can see that I named this the 60-Day Tax Recovery Plan because that was the original title of this webinar, but we changed it and it's still relevant. But yeah, you can just import your contacts here. I'm going to pause it real quick because I know I'm going fast. You can, where it says add recipients, once you have added your contacts, it will show up as the list name. And it's very easy to just pick that list, or if you just come straight in here, you can import your contacts straight from here. Whichever one you do, you're going to get the same result. All right. Next, you're going to add the from name. Typically, this would be the law firm name, or it could be your name. If, like if your name is John Smith and you're the Smith Law Firm, make sure that your firm name is somehow part of that. Also, make sure you add the email address where replies will go to. The subject line, really important. We use the title of the blog article that we're featuring because it does a great job of reminding people what you do and how you can help them. We have found that, people who just do like March newsletter or, something pretty generic like that, it's not very eye-catching, and it doesn't really give the recipient reason enough to open the email. All right. But they see your name, they see the title of the blog that you're featuring. Automatically they know there's value there, and they know who you are and what you do. It pings them and it reminds them, oh, okay, John Smith is a tax lawyer. This is how he's trying to help. I got it. All right. Once you get your subject line done, next you're going to come in and design it. So MailChimp on its own has a ton of different themes and layouts. You can see right here, they've got all kinds of different designs and stuff. If you feel comfortable enough to make it a little fancy, by all means, go for it. Like I mentioned earlier, we do create custom themes for our clients that match the look and feel of their website. But for your purposes, if you're doing this on your own, just go with a basic one-column theme. And from there, it's pretty simple. It's kind of drag and drop, copy paste information there. You definitely want to add your logo to the top. That's what I'm doing here with this one. And then from there, you want to kind of start to, fill in the content for your email. You want to have a good greeting at the top, and then this paragraph here can give you the opportunity to kind of introduce yourself, reintroduce yourself if you haven't sent very many emails in the past. Like I'm typing right there. I'm so smart. I read my own mind. But it's where you can provide announcements, updates on your firm. If you haven't introduced or, if you haven't reached your contacts in a while, it's like, hey, we're still here. We're still trying, we're still out here going to help you through this, any way you need. And then also, if you're featuring a blog or a video, this is where you kind of tell them, hey, this is what this newsletter is going to be about, or this email is going to be about. And from there, you can just kind of drag and drop different features, different elements in there. MailChimp has, some pretty good things to give you a pretty clean design there. What I've chosen here is the image and the text feature. And basically what I'm doing is if I've written a blog and I've posted it on my website, I'm going to have an image that accompanies it. And I've just grabbed one here from my desktop, thrown it up here. And at that point, I can, type in, add the blog title, but then also type in like the first couple of paragraphs or so of the blog into the email, but then link back to the website. So you can still drive people to your website where they can get more information and they can reach out to you and contact you for service. And yeah, Jen, I think you had a point about, Instagram and the blog image as well.
Yes. So the image there, and John, I think you even made this one, and it's been on our like Spotlight Branding Instagram. And
Yeah.
even though we don't do Instagram, it's not a platform that we're able to really do it as efficiently as, you know, someone in the office might be able to. So if you are able to, especially now as you have some downtime, just take some pictures. You can, you know, work in Canva to create something pretty much just like this, maybe even better. No offense, John, but you can add your own logo in there as well, and just have something that, you know, you can post on there that is branded to you. But people like to observe content in all these different ways. And so not just images, but even videos. Some people would so much rather click play on a video and just sit there and watch and like listen versus someone who would rather, you know, read the blog like content. I'm in the minority, I think, in that I prefer reading the text, but so many people would just like to click play and go. So anytime you're able to have different types of content, even like a podcast, if you have any sort of audio, I think those different formats are really helpful in hitting all the different people who may be receiving this. But yeah, if you're curious about how to make an image like that, I think Canva is a great one to start with. You can add some like backgrounds, you can add text and images and your logo and use them all over, not just on Instagram, but even on other social media pages too.
Yeah. And so I paused the video real quick because what you can see down here is MailChimp gives you the opportunity to link to your social media account. So now you kind of have this ecosystem that you're building where, you know, if you're emailing your contacts, they can look at you on social media, see what you're posting, see the extra value there that you're providing. And now you're finding more ways to make consistent touch points with people. So once you get your email built, you can click continue, and let's see here. Yeah, you can add or send it. There it is. So MailChimp gives you the opportunity to either schedule the email to go out later, or you can send it right then and there, just kind of depending on, you know, what you do. You know, we typically send our emails out in the morning. You know, typically because people are at work. But since everyone is at home, there's no real rule for that anymore. You know, obviously you probably don't want to send it to someone at like 10 o'clock at night. But yeah, I mean, people are going to be checking their email all hours of the day now. And so there's no real, you know, bad time during the day to just send an email out and just make a consistent touch point with someone. So that is how you do it. I know I kind of went through that pretty fast. This recording will be available after the webinar. So you can go back, watch it again, and kind of build your campaigns yourself. If you're having, you know, if you get stuck anywhere, you know, feel free to reach out to me. I'm happy to help you. You can email me at john@spotlightbranding.com, and I'm happy to just kind of, you know, help you out any way I can. So at that point, you know, after all of this has gone on and we're all back to normal, this is a strategy that works, you know, regardless of what's going on in the world. And having a consistent strategy, a consistent marketing strategy in place is a great way to, you know, sort of flatten the curve for your cash flow. I made that really topical there. And yeah, it's just, the best time is to start today, and we can absolutely help with that. And yeah, Jana, why don't you tell them about how we can help with that?
Mayhem. That's all I'll say right now. Good job, the marketing department, for coming up with the term for what we were doing, which I'm calling mayhem, whether or not you want me to. So we know that with all the uncertainty ahead and the probable like crunching cash flow that most law firms are going to be seeing here in the next little while, but knowing how important it is to keep marketing systems going and keep putting out content, we are essentially offering free marketing through the end of May. So that is what you can see here. Basically, we want to be able to help out as we know that this is a difficult time, but still, you know, get everything rolling so that the fruits of those efforts will be producing, and you're able to see those, but you don't have to, you know, commit as much financially up front. So I think it's a $500 deposit. that would be credited towards your first month in June, but then no monthly payments now until then. And so, of course, if you sign up like end of March, that's basically an entire free month versus the beginning of April. Same with end of April, beginning of May. And so that's what we are doing. Mayhem.
Yeah. So yeah, feel free to book your call with Jana so you can get more great puns like that. You can go to spotlightbranding.com/schedule. I know that, Jana, your calendar's getting pretty filled up for this week and early next week.
It is pretty filled up. I can pull it up. Pretty filled up, honestly, through the end of tomorrow and Friday. There's a little bit on Monday and Tuesday, which is still technically in March. So check out the scheduling calendar. If you're struggling to find a time and you really want to chat, shoot me an email. Jana, Jana at spotlightbranding.com, and I can finagle some things because I would love to talk with you guys, and I know this is a really helpful thing from what I've heard so far. So I'm happy to talk with you and figure out a time to connect if this is something that you guys want to get rolled out and understand the importance of and would like to take advantage of, frankly, too. So that's it for us. I kind of peeked over in the question section, saw Jana was addressing a couple of things, like we had some volume issues. I apologize for that. But yeah, if anyone has any questions here, we'll stay on for another minute or so. But otherwise, thank you guys so much for attending. This recording will come out here in the next few, probably 15, 20 minutes. And if you have any feedback for us, you can email me, let us know what we can do better, what we did really well. And book your call with Jana to get your free marketing through May. And that's all I've got. That's really all I have. Yeah. Send any criticisms to John and send any good stuff to Jana as always. But no, I hope you guys did enjoy this and got some value from it. Thank you guys for tuning in. This worked out pretty well as our first remote one of our series. So at least I think so. A couple audio issues, but thank you guys again for letting us know in the comments.
Yes.
Hopefully that turned out better. We'll see in the recordings.
Right. Yeah.
Let's see.
All right.
Cool.
So what would you recommend that a divorce lawyer do? Thank you, Ken. So yeah, like we mentioned here, obviously the truth of the matter is, if people are out of work, during the pandemic, chances are they're not going to initiate a divorce. But as things start to kind of go back to normal and we get back into the regular swing of life, there's absolutely a chance that people who ended up quarantined together realize they don't want to be with each other anymore. And so, there's a very good chance that you can see a spike in business there from people who want a divorce. The best thing that I can recommend for you to do is continue to market yourself and just provide good information. So, if it's not necessarily specifically about divorce, there are other areas of family law that you can hit on. Jana mentioned, custody sharing during a stay-at-home order, child support payments during, a time when people just aren't able to work, a lot of things like that. And just making sure that you're providing a lot of good information out there as to what people can do. You can even tackle that, issue, and kind of, and almost not necessarily a lighthearted way, but just be like, if you're anticipating getting a divorce, here's what you can do to start preparing. Quite frankly, it's kind of a dark topic, but, a lot of legal issues can kind of get that way. And that's just, it's no reason to avoid it. But, there's definitely angles that you can take with your content, on social media for sure to, give value and information to people. So hope that helps, Ken. We got another question there.
It looks like Anna responded to that, basically saying that she's seen a lot of divorce firms putting out resources for custody sharing and how to best support the kids. Thank you, Anna. So that, anything like that, maybe, it is a blog, maybe it's just a third-party article that you see. I want to say that I saw some sort of an article that said once the quarantine was lifted in a city in China, there were like 87 couples that immediately went and filed for divorce. So like I anticipate that is going to be something that, I mean, you said it and you've seen, kind of some articles and maybe memes about it, but I think it really will be a thing that is prevalent. And so being prepared for it, and also just making sure that when things are over, that people aren't going to the internet to look for a divorce lawyer, that as soon as, that happens, they already have in their mind who it is they're going to go to. I think that would be one of the best ways to go about it. But thank you, Anna. Custody sharing, supporting the kids. Yeah, any of that I think is good information.
Yeah. So looking over at the attendees list, it looks like Svabna Trivedi raised her hand. Svabna, if you're still here, if you can ask your question in the Q&A section, we can definitely get to you. Yeah, otherwise.
Yeah, well, I will show on for a little while for any questions you guys might have. So,
okay.
That was on
accident. All right, cool. Well, thank you for getting there, answering so quickly. That's great. Awesome. So, I think then that will do it for us. We said 30 minutes. We nailed it. I think we're doing really good at this. But yeah, hang in there, everybody. Remember, don't panic. And now's a great time to invest in your marketing to make sure that you come out of this great, to maybe get ahead of your competitors who might be panicking right now. And so that's it. Spotlightbranding.com/schedule to get on Jana's calendar, to get, free marketing at the end of May. And thank you, Chris.
Thank you, Chris.
And everyone else.
Yeah, everybody else.
Awesome.